Alright, let's be honest, most people couldn't point out Panama on a map if their lives depended on it. It's one of those places that you hear about in geography class, but it never really sticks in your mind. You might remember it vaguely from a history lesson or a documentary, but if someone handed you a map and asked you to find it, you'd probably break out in a cold sweat. Is it that weird boot-shaped country in Europe? Nope, that's Italy. Italy is famous for its rich history, delicious cuisine, and iconic landmarks. Everyone knows where Italy is, right? It's practically a staple in every traveler's bucket list. Is it that island chain that looks suspiciously like a banana? Wrong again, that's Japan. Japan, with its unique culture, advanced technology, and beautiful cherry blossoms, is another country that's hard to miss. But Panama? Not so much. Panama, my friends, is a skinny little country in Central America, practically the love child of North and South America. It's nestled right between Costa Rica to the west and Colombia to the southeast. This narrow strip of land is what connects the two massive continents, making it a crucial geographical location. It's like the geographical equivalent of that friend who always brings everyone together at a party. You know, the one, the social butterfly, who knows everyone and makes sure no one feels left out. That's Panama for you, bridging the gap between two worlds. See, Panama's claim to fame is its location, location, location. It's not just a random spot on the map, it's a strategic point that has played a significant role in global trade and travel for centuries. It's sandwiched between the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean, basically the real estate equivalent of beachfront property. Imagine having access to two major bodies of water. It's like owning a house with both a sunrise and a sunset view. And right in the middle of this prime real estate is the Panama Canal, but we'll get to that engineering marvel later. The canal is a man-made wonder that has revolutionized maritime trade, allowing ships to pass between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans without having to navigate the treacherous waters of the southern tip of South America. Panama is a land of contrasts. It's a place where modernity meets nature in the most spectacular ways. One moment you're in a bustling city, and the next you're surrounded by lush greenery and exotic wildlife. You've got lush rainforests teeming with more monkeys than a barrel, probably. These rainforests are home to an incredible diversity of flora and fauna, making them a paradise for nature lovers and adventure seekers alike, and bustling cities that would give New York a run for its money. Panama City, the capital, is a vibrant metropolis with a skyline that rivals any major city in the world. It's a hub of culture, commerce, and innovation. It's a place where you can sip your morning coffee while watching sloths inch their way through the trees. Imagine starting your day with a cup of rich, aromatic Panamanian coffee, all while being serenaded by the sounds of nature. Honestly, it's a wonder anyone gets anything done in Panama with all the amazing wildlife just chilling out everywhere. From colorful toucans to slow-moving sloths, the country's biodiversity is truly astounding. It's a constant reminder of the beauty and wonder of the natural world. So, before those Europeans with their funny hats and insatiable thirst for gold showed up, Panama was already a happening place. We're talking about sophisticated indigenous cultures like the Guna, Embera, and Wunan, folks who knew how to rock a feather headdress and build impressive villages long before Pinterest made it cool. Then, in 1501, this dude named Rodrigo de Bastidas, a Spanish explorer who probably couldn't tell the difference between a palm tree and a coconut, stumbled upon Panama. He must have thought he'd hit the jackpot because he immediately claimed it for Spain, and thus began centuries of, shall we say, cultural exchange. Let's just say it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Panama quickly became a key link in Spain's colonial chain, a sort of glorified highway for shipping all that plundered gold and silver back to Europe. Of course, the indigenous population didn't exactly benefit from this arrangement. It's a familiar story, sadly, but one that laid the groundwork for modern-day Panama. Now, Panama wasn't just some random piece of land that Spain conquered because, well, they could. It was a meticulously chosen location, a gem in the crown of Spain's vast empire. The Spanish were strategic thinkers, always on the lookout for ways to enhance their trade routes and expand their influence. It was all about location, baby. Panama's position was like a golden ticket in the world of maritime trade. You see, Panama was, and still is, the narrowest point between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. This tiny strip of land, known as the Isthmus of Panama, was a game-changer. Think of it like the waist of an hourglass, a tiny strip of land connecting two massive bodies of water. This unique geographical feature made Panama incredibly valuable. Before the Panama Canal, ships had to sail all the way around the tip of South America, a journey that was not only time-consuming but also fraught with danger. A journey so long and treacherous it would make even the most seasoned sailor want to retire and open a tiki bar. The seas were rough, the weather unpredictable, and the journey could take months. But Panama was the shortcut, the express lane to global trade. It was the answer to the prayers of countless sailors and merchants. It was like finding out there's a secret tunnel that cuts your commute in half. Imagine the relief and excitement of discovering such a shortcut. Spain realized this pretty quickly and set up shop, establishing settlements and fortifications to protect their newfound treasure, using Panama as a hub to ship goods and treasures between their colonies in the Americas and the rest of the world. The Spanish built ports, warehouses, and trading posts, turning Panama into a bustling center of commerce. It was basically the Amazon Prime of its day, just with a lot more scurvy and pirate attacks. Pirates were a constant threat, always on the lookout for ships laden with valuable cargo. Despite the dangers, Panama thrived as a crucial link in the global trade network. Its strategic importance cannot be overstated, as it played a pivotal role in shaping the economic landscape of the time. Today, the Panama Canal stands as a testament to the enduring significance of this narrow strip of land, continuing to facilitate global trade and connect the world in ways that were once unimaginable. Fast forward a few centuries, and those freedom bells started ringing all over the Americas. The winds of change were sweeping across the continent, and the spirit of independence was in the air. From the northern reaches of Mexico to the southern tip of Argentina, colonies were rising up, shaking off the shackles of European rule. It was a time of great upheaval and even greater hope as people dreamed of a future where they could govern themselves and chart their own destinies. Panama, tired of Spain's, let's call it hands-on management style, decided it was time to join the party. The people of Panama had grown weary of the constant interference and heavy-handed tactics of their colonial rulers. They longed for the freedom to make their own decisions and to build a nation that reflected their own values and aspirations. In 1821, Panama declared its independence from Spain, which, to be fair, was about as shocking as finding a pineapple on a pizza in Italy. The declaration was a bold move, a statement of intent that resonated throughout the region. It was a moment of triumph, but also one of uncertainty, as the newly independent nation faced the daunting task of building a future from the ground up. It was bound to happen. The desire for self-determination was too strong to be denied, and the people of Panama were ready to take their place on the world stage. The celebrations were jubilant, filled with hope and a sense of possibility. But the road ahead was far from easy. But here's the catch. Panama didn't exactly become a fully independent nation. The journey to true independence was a complex and winding one, filled with twists and turns that would test the resolve of the Panamanian people. Nope, they decided to join forces with their neighbors to the south and become part of Gran Colombia, a decision that was both strategic and fraught with challenges. The idea was to create a united front, a powerful coalition that could stand strong against external threats and internal divisions. A union that included present-day Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, and for a hot minute, Panama. This grand experiment in unity was ambitious, but it was also precarious, as the diverse regions struggled to find common ground and a shared vision for the future. And for a hot minute, Panama. The inclusion of Panama in Gran Colombia was like a brief, intense romance, full of passion and promise, but ultimately unsustainable. Think of it like a roommate situation that seemed like a good idea at the time, but then you realize your roommate never does their dishes. The initial excitement gave way to frustration and disillusionment as the practical realities of living together set in. But then you realize your roommate never does their dishes. The daily grind of managing a shared space revealed deep-seated differences and conflicting priorities that were hard to reconcile. Turns out, Gran Colombia was about as stable as a Jenga tower after one too many beers. The union was plagued by internal conflicts and power struggles that undermined its stability and cohesion. Internal conflicts and political squabbles were as common as mosquitoes in a rainforest. The constant bickering and infighting made it difficult to achieve any lasting progress or unity. Panama, understandably, started to get a little antsy. The dream of a united Gran Colombia was fading, and the people of Panama began to yearn for a different path, one that would allow them to fully realize their own potential. They'd tasted freedom, and they wanted the whole enchilada, not just a bite. The taste of independence had whetted their appetite for more, and they were ready to fight for a future where they could stand on their own, free from the constraints of external control.